Hey guys, it's Aaron. So we had this request quite a few times. People have asked for this specific thing, and it's actually a good mix of using SketchUp native tools and thinking about how you design stuff, lay things out. So we're going to take a look at drawing dovetails. This is actually, once you see how to do it, it's a pretty simple process. You can apply it to different kinds of dovetails and that sort of thing, but we're going to actually look at just the basics of intersecting two pieces with dovetails. So we're going to go ahead and hop in and do that right now. Okay, so here on my screen, what I have is I have the styles window open because we are going to use styles. I went in there and clicked on edit and brought up the edge styles. So you'll see we're going to use that. And I also have solid tools open. So whether you're in SketchUp Shop or you are in SketchUp Pro, we're going to use the solid tools. All right, and then other than that, I have a group which is an extruded rectangle. This is pretty simple. This is just a 3/4 of an inch by 5.5 inch board. So I think it's 2 feet long. That part doesn't really matter. What we want to do is we want to take this piece and intersect it and create dovetails with another piece. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I'm just going to use rotate. I'm going to hit my modifier key to flip a copy up like that. And then of course I'm going to move it down so it overlaps. So what we want to do is put two different patterns in these two boards so we get the intersections between the two that'll create the dovetail. I'm going to start by hiding this piece. I'm just going to right click and hit hide. I don't need to see that for what I'm going to do first. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is come in and I want to create that dovetaily pattern here with some angled lines. So two things I want to do. First, I want to break this board into an even number of pieces so I can create my, I don't even know what they're called, tails, teeth, you know, those shapes. So first thing I'm going to do is come in here and draw a line across here. I am out of context, so this is a group. I'm going to do all of my drawing on the outside, get it all set up, and then drop it in on the geometry afterwards. That's going to keep me from having to worry about, like, I move lines around without them, you know, joining or splitting geometry. So it's a good way to use the group to isolate. So I'm going to draw a line right here, and then I'm going to select that line. I'm going to right click and hit divide. Now this is kind of up to you how many pieces I want on here. I'm going to say I want to go to 6. That's going to give me 3 pieces there. 1, 2, no, I'm sorry, I want to bump up 1. 7. 7's going to give me 3 specific cuts. Okay, so I'm going to make it 7 pieces. Boom. All right, so I just broke that line, but I can't see where the breaks are. This is why I have my style menu open. I don't use it a lot, but in cases like this where I want to see where those endpoints are, I will turn on endpoints. And that's going to give me, and see there, that just gives me those locations of the splits. All right, now, I want to come up with a very specific angle here. It's actually a ratio from everything I found. So I want to do something like a 1:6 ratio. So what that means is for every inch I come this way, I want to go over 1/6 of an inch this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use native tools real quick. Some people might know this angle off the top of their head, and I know this angle can vary depending on the type of wood and the joinery you're doing. I'm going to use 1/6 just for this example. So I'm going to come this way 6 inches. Then I'm going to come this way 1 inch. And then I'm going to connect back to the front. This line right here, this is the line I want. So I'm going to break it. I'm going to draw a line from here to this intersection. I'll see a little break show up, and I can get rid of these other lines. I don't actually need those right now. All right, there we go. That's our first piece. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this line and I'm going to move it from this endpoint. I'm going to hit Option. I'm going to move it down 2 dots. So see, this is the first one. This is the second one. And I'm going to actually do it 2 times, so I'm just going to type 2x, enter. There we go. All right, now I'm going to take this one. I'm going to modifier key, Option on Mac, Control on Windows, move it over here, and I'm going to scale it to -1. I can't use rotate because it's not 180 degrees. This line rotate 180 degrees is the exact same line. So I do need to use scale to reverse it. And then I'm going to grab it by the end and bring it back right here. And I'll go from here, Option, copy to here, Option, copy to here. So that is what my dovetails should look like on the first piece. Again, I'm doing this out of context, so I can't just come in here and start push pulling. I did create all my lines outside of the group, but that was intentional. I said I was moving lines around, I didn't want to cut stuff, so I did it outside of context just to keep it safe. Now, how do I get it into context? What I'm going to do is just do a group select. It's important to go left to right because I only want to select the stuff that's all the way inside. If I go right to left, it'll include the group. So I'm going to do a group select, left to right. That's going to get all the lines. And now I'm just going to go to edit and cut those lines. Now I'll double click to enter the group and edit, paste in place. That's going to put it in context in the exact same location it was before. So you can see it drops in and it breaks these lines. See those endpoints showing up? That means it broke the lines. Now that I got that, actually, I can turn my endpoints off. I don't need to see those anymore. They distract me. I got to get rid of them. And now I'm going to take this piece right here and I'm going to push it down the length of the material. Remember I said it was 3/4 of an inch, so I'm going to drop it 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to double click here, here, and here to drop them the same amount. And that piece of dovetail is now done. I can click out, I can look at it. Yep, that is done. All right, so now what I need to do is I need to get the opposite. It's not the exact same shape, of course, it's a different shape in the other piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go close styles and open outliner. Outliner is going to show all my pieces. I only have 2 pieces. I have the one that I'm looking at right now, that's this piece right here, and then I have another one that's hidden, so I'm just going to click on the eye icon to bring it back on. Now if I double click in here and we hide the rest of the model, this is still just square at the end. Pretty simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the piece I just worked on and I'm going to trim it from this other one, not subtract. If I use subtract, watch what happens. I'll go ahead and subtract it and oh, it works perfect. But it got rid of my other group. See, the group is gone. So that's not going to work. So what I want to do is select it and use trim. Remember we did solid tools in a series a little while ago. Trim is going to cut the overlapping pieces out, but leave the cutter and create a new difference over here. So I'm going to go ahead and use trim, click on this piece, and that's it. We're done. We have doved those tails, or tailed those doves. I don't know which is the proper term. But there we go. If I slide that up, you can actually see how the 2 pieces fit together, and it's just that easy. Now, if you didn't want to use solid tools, you probably could have overlapped them and used something like intersect to do that, but solid tools is a way easier way to do it. And if you're going to do something like woodworking and dovetails a lot, you want to use that. So you want to have Shop or Pro to do that. But that's it. That's all there is to dovetails. The important part is just making sure that the lines are oriented correctly. Make sure your angles are going the right direction against the opposite piece of wood. If you like that, go ahead and click like down below, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. We create a lot of videos around here, and you'll be notified every time one is created if you subscribe. Most importantly though, please leave a comment down below. This video and most of the videos we're creating now are actually created off of comments from viewers like you. We like making these videos a lot. We like them even more when they're showing something you want to see. Thank you.